Hello and welcome. Today we're going to introduce you to two jobs in sustainable development. We chose two very interesting specializations, which are consultancy and conservation. We're going to start talking about consultancy in sustainable development. But first of all, what is a sustainable consultant doing? Much like financial, business, or operations analysts, sustainable consultants collect and analyze data, identify needs, and devise strategies to meet those needs. They write reports, make presentations, lead meetings, and launch sustainability initiatives. John Silkey works in a big consultancy company with the name Strategy Sustainability Consulting, which is located in Virginia. John starts his day working on a project. He helps the University of Washington develop the waste diversion framework for their new football stadium. After that, John is having a phone call with a client at Tennessee Valley Authority for a standing weekly project check. Now it's time for a break in which John is usually having lunch and goes to the gym. As a sustainable consultant, John is also going on business trips. On this day, he has to go to Portland for the night for two projects. One is with a utility partner, and John helps them to create their first sustainability strategy for their supply chain. And the second project is a planning session for a workshop for the creation for the Green Sports Summit. Do you think the work sounds interesting? The average salary of a sustainability consultant is, according to payscale.com, €66,000 per year. But how do I become a sustainable consultant? There are no formal educational requirements, but consultants do well to have at least a bachelor's degree. They should not only have an interest in environmental stewardship, but they should also be analytical thinkers, problem solvers, excellent communicators, and proficient computer users.
In the second part of our video, we are going to talk about jobs and conservation, with a special focus on wildlife conservation. Now you might ask yourself, why do we even have to focus on a specific area? As the wildlife conservationist Conal Bradwell put it, the great thing about conservation is that there are so many aspects and areas you can go into. You could, for example, decide to work as a range manager, a soil and water conservationist, or, last but not least, as a wildlife conservationist. As a wildlife conservationist, your overall objective is to protect and manage environments, such as forests and grasslands. Your employers will either be private landowners or federal, state, or local governments. In order to achieve this overall objective, you have to educate the public and try to influence government bodies as well as industry groups and other large institutions. In addition to that, data collection in the field and administrative tasks are some of your typical activities. Usually, a bachelor's degree is the minimum requirement for working in this occupation. The most direct path towards working as a wildlife conservationist can be taken by graduating in ecology, wildlife biology, agriculture, natural resources, or environmental sciences. However, it can be said that the field is open to anyone who wants to make a difference. In addition to love for nature, a number of soft skills is required. These include listening and verbal communication skills, problem solving and critical thinking, as well as analytical and decision-making skills. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for conservationists equals about $61,000 annually, but it varies depending on whether you work for the federal or state governments. Despite the increased need to prevent forest fires, the Bureau only predicts a 4% and therefore lower than average growth rate in the US job market in the period between 2018 and 2028.